Welcome into Doc's Daily. I'm Detroit Lenny here on a Friday. It's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Here on Doc's Daily. What's today's date? The 17th. I don't have my watch on. I'm all discombobulated. My watch, I didn't charge my watch, so now it's dead, and now I don't get nothing to wear. I'm like outside the house without no underwear on. My mom would be so upset with me right now. Welcome in the Doc's Daily, though. We're here Monday through Friday, 1 o'clock Eastern. I'm joined with Robert Ferrigno and Nick Menken, as I am every Friday. Don't forget to check out the Saturday show with Griffin Murphy and myself. That's Saturday, 11 a.m. Always a good time before college football. We got a lot going on. We got a small slate of NHL, 4 games. We got, some good college football games on, also 4 games. Got some baseball games. Got an elimination baseball game up tonight. And that's about it. I should say that's about it. That seems like a lot. It's like a lot, but not a lot. I don't know. It's a decent amount of stuff for me. Robert, what's your thoughts on today's card?
A fair amount of stuff, and this is the last Friday that we're not going to be loaded up with NBA for like 7 months. NBA starts on Tuesday. Friday's a big day for them. There's definitely some college football games that I am very curious about. That Nebraska-Minnesota game is a game that I have a play on. I think that Louisville Miami game is going to be very telling for both teams right there. And I went from waking up this morning thinking I was passing in the NHL to having a 7-unit play in the NHL.
Okay.
This was like 10 after 11. I was like, you know what? I cannot pass on this spot. So I went from not having a pick to having a 7-unit play. So I got a 7-unit play. I've won 4 straight NHL days. Somehow I'm up like plus 1,700 already this season. I'm on like a plus 9,900 run dating back to last year. I have no idea how this is happening, but you
said that yesterday too. You're like, I'm doing this and this on NHL, and I'm crushing it, but I don't know what's going on.
Can we talk about something real quick? A lot of W's were handed out yesterday on Doc's Daily. A lot of W's. The hockey play that we had with the Islanders pulling the upset that nobody had. Let's see. Darnell Washington under receiving yards in that game. Aaron Rodgers over touchdown passes hit. Andre Ionovich, or however you say the number 3 receiver for Cincinnati, his receiving yards went way over. And Pat Freiermuth had a day. Anytime touchdown, Pat Freiermuth. A lot of W's on Doc's Daily yesterday. You're welcome, America.
There you go. All you got to do is hit the like button. Hit the thumbs up button. We do this for the likes. We're like Instagram models, shaking ass for likes, but we're giving wins away. Same difference. Nick, what do you got going on? Oh, here we go. We went down a rabbit hole. You got to get that on our premium.
A lot of winners over on the premium side, Lenny. I must say, I had 2 7-unit winners yesterday. We had Boston Bruins. They're a 7-unit on the ice. I was holding my breath through that game. I had a plus 1.5 there. They got the cover. You want to say a backdoor, you could say a backdoor, but they got the job done there. So we're 3-0 on my top plays in NHL, picking right back off where we left off last season. And then as well, T. Higgins over 46.5 receiving yards. That cashed early in that game, and followed by his receptions as well. I had 4.5. That was plus 125. Cashed that one in with ease. He had 6 there, so we were 2-0 in the props. We're hot. We're hot, folks. So we got a big weekend coming up, and I'm jacked up. We're 8-2 in NFL. We're going to look to continue that here on the gridiron. We got a CFL 6-unit coming out tonight. So that's what I got going on over at the website, and 1 NHL play later on tonight, Lenny.
I forgot about CFL because I do, and I got 2 plays and 2 games in CFL too. So I love CFL is coming down to it. The playoffs are about to start there. It's like week 20 or something. Yeah. CFL goes like 72 weeks a year. I swear to God, it's they don't ever. It's like they have like a month off.
They are not worried about CTE up north.
No, they're
not worried about player health.
That's Canada. In Canadian, that means a good time.
Right.
But 2 baseball games on. I want to talk a little bit about MLB today, because Blue Jays, Mariners. I had that over, but that was the only play I had in baseball yesterday. Was that over, and that was the end. I didn't really like the Dodger game all that much. It's a lot of pitching chaos. The Dodgers are about ready to eliminate Milwaukee. Do they sweep them? Do you think they just gentlemen sweep them? I mean, I don't see Milwaukee coming back and winning 4 straight.
Yeah, definitely. I think the Dodgers definitely get the sweep. If not today, then the next game at home for the Dodgers, they'll end that series. But the game that I want to talk about that was tricky to me is this Toronto Blue Jays and the Seattle Mariners. And it's sitting at a minus 120 here. And Kevin Gausman is back on the mound. And he already got a loss this playoffs, and it came against the Seattle Mariners here. I believe he went 5 innings of work. He allowed 3 runs, and he got the loss. So this is basically his revenge game here. And to the public's eye, Seattle at home, after losing 2 games to the Toronto Blue Jays, looks like the easy right way to go, right? Well, I think Toronto gets this one. I think Kevin Gausman has a bounce-back game here. The bats are hot for the Blue Jays. In Seattle, this is, to me, for Seattle, if they want to go to the World Series, they have to win this game because you're not going to take 2 in Toronto there. So this is a must-win game for the Mariners, puts a lot more pressure on them, and I think Kevin Gausman comes out here and kind of shoves. So I'm on the Toronto Blue Jays to get the sweep in Seattle here. I know it's hard going against the Mariners, must-win situation, haven't won a game in this series at home, but I got to favor the Blue Jays here with Kevin Gausman on a bounce-back game for himself in this series, Lenny.
I don't hate that. It's funny in playoffs, it's like first team to win on the road wins, usually wins the series kind of situation. Neither team has won at home. All the wins have come on the road. So, Robert, what are your thoughts on playoff baseball? I know you're probably
thoughts on playoff baseball.
I know you
that it's time to start thinking about basketball.
I know. I knew it was close. That's how I segue into NBA.
Listen, part of it was I got cold at the wrong time. In baseball, like I did not do well. I had some really big hits, but in general, I did not do well the beginning of the playoffs. So it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, there's only so many hours in the day. Do I want to put this into college basketball preparation? Do I want to put this into NHL preparation? Do I want to put this into NBA preparation? Or do I want to sit here and again, this is not an offense to guys that are still doing baseball. Like 2 guys hit their 8-unit game of the year, their total of the year last night. Like some guys are still locked in. But for me, I'm like, do I want to keep flipping coins trying to figure out if Toronto or Seattle is going to score 12 runs today? Or do I want to use that time for football or some other sport? So I'm out on baseball.
And we talked about that before, and that makes sense. I mean,
Dodgers are going to win it. There you go. Bet as much as you can. If you want to bet, just bet on the Dodgers. Bet on them to win the World Series. Bet on them every day. Like the Dodgers are going to demolish whoever comes out of the American League. Like maybe Seattle or Toronto can pull off 1 or 2 wins, but neither of them are beating Dodgers. Like it's going to be a joke. So
it would be World War III if the Dodgers have to play Toronto. We know how Trump feels about Canada, so we will go to war if we have to. I'm just saying. But if that's the lessers, if that's what I got to choose from out of these 4 teams, I can't root for the Mariners. I can't. I don't not have that in me. I will never root for Toronto. I despise that team. And the Brewers just seem like somebody should poke them with a stick. You know that meme? Like, do something.
They are who we thought they were.
Yeah,
every time
they made
get
it
in
past
this situation.
The first round of the playoffs.
Right.
Progress. I mean, they made it past the Cubs, so there's that.
Yeah, with 2 pitchers, maybe 1.5 starting pitchers for the Cubs.
Well,
so that's what's hurting them.
Oh, yeah. The same thing. Tigers, 1 pitcher. We don't even have the half. Good luck this weekend in your bet stop. Gio says, differentiating between fandom and making money is something not spoken about enough in this community. So, so many people losing money, betting their hometown teams like crazy. Okay, you don't have to take jabs at me, all right? I get it. I get it. No, stop. Me and Stop Gio go way back. But, yeah, I get it. And I hate the playoffs in the sense that and during the regular season, I'm a guy that will fade the public. Everybody's going that way, right? In the playoffs, there's only 2 games. At some point, everybody's the public. It's like the Super Bowl. Everybody's the public.
Right.
There's only so many situations you can find numbers and stuff like that. But, well, Robert, you did all this NHL homework. What do you got for us in the NHL today?
Again, I got my big little seven binger going tonight.
Don't tell us that.
Kind of excited about there. Okay, but the game that was kind of on my mind that got me going down this rabbit hole to even look at these games, I kind of like San Jose tonight.
Oh, that's so ugly, but I do too.
It's so ugly.
They have lost 14 straight games. They've lost all 3 of their games this year. The last time they won was in March 27th of last year, and it was against Toronto. Of course, it was against Toronto because God, who's a bigger loser than the Leafs? But anyway, they've lost 14 straight games, but they're not playing badly this season. Like they're really not. Like 2 of their losses were in overtime. They lost to Vegas. They lost to Carolina. They had that shootout with Anaheim. Like they're knocking on the door, and they have to win at some point. And then I look at Utah coming off probably their best game, but I don't think that they've been great this season. They've played 2 one-score games, and then their 2 two-goal games both became 2-goal games because of empty net goals in the last 20 seconds. So we got a team that's played a bunch of close games against a team that's just kind of knocking on the door. And with that huge money line, like I just think it's worth a nibble. Like San Jose is going to win one of its next 3 games.
I agree. Like they're not going to lose 82 games.
Yeah, exactly. They're not going to go 0-82. So it's time to start just kind of like doing a little bit of a chase system on San Jose. Maybe take that plus 1.5. That number was pretty small. But yeah, that's what I got for you.
I don't hate that. I had kind of the same thought when I looked at that game. I'm like, I don't feel like anybody in the NHL is minus 250 better than anybody else. Okay.
Not the first 2 weeks of the season.
No. And you will see as the season goes on, -3, -400. So that is not the case. On any given night, I know they say there's any given Sunday, on any given night, on any given ice, and it's weird shit happens. We're talking about shooting around a frozen piece of rubber here, okay? Anything happens, that shit's bouncing everywhere.
What do you two think about your 2 hometown underdogs tonight? What do you think about?
I think the dogs barking.
What do you think about that Chicago game, Nick?
I love Chicago, and not the fact that Vancouver's coming off back-to-back games here tonight. Vancouver just picked up a very, very good win on the road last night in Dallas. And Dallas is a team that I am very high on this year. That is physically and mentally draining, going into Dallas in that arena and then getting that win in a fashionable way. Now you got to go into another big arena here in the United Center and play a good Chicago Blackhawks team, or I should say an improved Chicago Blackhawks team from last season and what I'm seeing here. They're great on the road. They were the St. Louis Blues on Wednesday were minus 220, exactly what we were talking about. Chicago Blackhawks, they scored 8 goals in that game on the road. They won that game outright. So the Blackhawks, their offensive production has improved. They look a lot faster here, especially in the neutral zone. And I love Spencer Knight in net for the Blackhawks here. You're playing a team that typically, I love Vancouver on the road. Last season, I bet them all the time on the road. They're a good team on the road. But in this case, they're coming off back-to-back games against a very good team. They're going to be tired here. And the Blackhawks coming off a nice win in their last one against the St. Louis Blues. The value's on the Blackhawks here. I'm not laying minus 140 with the Vancouver Canucks on the road off back-to-back days. Hit the Blackhawks here. That's where the value is here. And I like Spencer Knight in net. So I would take him on the money line here, Robert.
Nice. That's a professional transition right there. You see that? I just threw that lob up there, and Nick came flying off the baseline and just hammered it.
It was fresh because I was like, you know what? They should have been on my premium card, but that's
the more you start talking about it.
We're talking about that. That's the emotional attachment, and that's the hardest thing. It could work in your benefit because you know when your team's good and you put those premium selections in. But this, it's like I got to sit back. I don't want to be an emotional attachment in this play. I'm going to sit back, see how they do. Yes, I think they should win, but we'll see where it goes.
I can tell you with my favorite team, Bears, Mets, Syracuse, football and basketball, I almost never bet on them. I feel like with your favorite team, you usually know when they're going to lose, right? Like if you see one of my teams in a bet, it's usually against them because you know your team. Like you have that flow for them, and you just know sometimes you're like, oh, this is a bad spot. Or, oh, we don't play well in this. Or, oh, that was a big win. We're totally going to have a letdown. Like, if you go back over my last 5 years in baseball, football, and college sports, I bet you 98% of the times that I have bets with those teams involved, it's betting against them.
I agree. And to stop Gio's point, like, you got to draw the line on his hometown Lions fans. That's where the Lions is my problem. I mean, we all know I love the Tigers, all that, this and that, whatever, but the Lions is a problem for me, like all the time. Like it just, I I'll look at their schedule and I'll run it down game for game, and I just don't understand how they lose some of these games. But I don't get it. I still don't. But
especially because they were so bad for so much of your life,
right?
That now that they're good,
they show a little bit.
It's got to be like, oh my God, we're gonna win every
sure.
game.
Like, but I do approach it more like you did say this, but stop. Like prop wise though, go prop wise. You see different angles. I've had to catch myself with there because next thing you know, I got 5 props on the Lions players. So that's just as bad. But yeah, the emotional attachment. Like tonight, though, I'm having a problem. I have a small play on the Red Wings tonight, plus money. But I really fucking like them. I mean, I really like them. I like the over 2 in that game. Tampa Bay is, I think, 1-2-1 to start out the year, but they've scored 4 goals in a loss, 3 goals in a loss, 4 goals in a win, and 2 goals in a loss. So they've scored at least 2 goals. The Red Wings goaltending ain't nothing. they are not good. But the Red Wings seem to have hit a stride the last 3 games offensively. I look for goals. I would play the over, and I would play the Red Wings.
Nick,
but I'm a homer.
You got any feel for Tampa Bay? Like I looked like they're 2-8 going back to the end of last year. They haven't gotten off to a good start this season. Like, are they just not good? Are they still on the way down after that little dynasty era that they have? Like what do we do? Like, is it a red flag that they're minus 150 here? Should it be like, okay, they're a big favorite for a reason type of thing? Like what?
I don't think it's a red flag. It's too early in the season, and they remind me right now of this Washington Capitals team. Yeah, the Capitals are a little bit better, but they are not playing nowhere as good as, the Capitals from last season. Why? They're getting in rhythm here. Their veteran players aren't coming to play at an elite level like they did last year. So the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Washington Capitals fall into that mix here early for me, looking at the whole NFL slate here, or the NHL slate. So when I'm looking at the Tampa Bay Lightning, what they need to improve is their efficiency, and they got to score goals. They just have to score goals. They have the right tools. I wouldn't hit the panic button on the Lightning here. They're a good enough team, and they will be in the playoff race. I can guarantee you that. They have great goaltending. They have the players in the mix. It's just too early to tell. I would not hit the panic button. They just remind me so similar of this Washington Capitals team and what I'm seeing out of them early on this season, because the Capitals, if you looked at the game, these two played each other, and Tampa Bay got off to a hot lead.
That game was
the Washington
gross.
Capitals came back and won that game. The Capitals just aren't coming ready to play in that first period. And what they need to do over the course of the season, they'll start to get back into the rhythm here. And I think that's exactly what Tampa Bay is going to do. It's a little too early. Don't hit the panic button. But once you start seeing them score early and often here, they'll start picking up their pace of play.
I think the Wild are a live dog tonight. And for that reason, I think the Capitals, you mentioned them, I think they're a good team. I think they'll hit their stride, but they're going to take a while to get going, kind of thing. They're going to start slow. I think they notoriously start slow. If don't fact check me and shit, but whatever. I think they notoriously start slow. I think Tampa is the same kind of team. They're good. Hockey is very similar to baseball in the sense that it's a game of runs, and a hot team will go on a run, 10-game streak, 5-game streak here, there, wherever. I think the Wings maybe got a little streak going right now in the last 3 games. That's the only reason I really numbers-wise like the Red Wings tonight. But I think honestly, all 4 dogs are live tonight, in my opinion, all 4. But, and you mentioned that Utah game. I got a prop for you. In that game. Center, Utah, Mammoth. Is that their name?
Yep.
Right? The Mammoth?
Mammoths.
Logan Cooley over 2.5 shots on goal. Trust me. That's all I'm going to say.
I like it. Boom. All right. Hey, Kay mentioned that he is a Jets fan, which I feel like is a good little transition to some football action. Kay, I don't know how you're going to receive this, but I'm just telling you right now, I really like the Jets this weekend. I think they get their first win. I think people are like getting way out over their skis about Carolina turning the corner or whatever. They've played 2 of the worst defenses, the Dolphins and Cowboys, the last 2 weeks, and they were probably fortunate to win both of those games. The Jets have played. The Jets are losers. Like, you know that. If you're a Jets fan, you know what idiots they are. Aaron Glenn, your boy. By the way, you were way wrong about that one, Letty, talking about how Detroit was going to miss him more. That guy is.
I think that's yet to be determined.
He's
yet
so
to be
bad.
determined.
Way in over his head. Well, he's not going to be a head coach for very long, so you might get him back there pretty soon.
Take him.
But they have played a difficult schedule. They've played a lot of really good teams. And I just don't think Carolina should be favored on the road over anybody. Carolina's defense is still bad. I just think Carolina's getting a little too much love just because, you know, they showed they can walk and chew gum at the same time by winning back-to-back games. You got to consider who they played against to get those wins. So I think all the value is with the Jets on Sunday.
God, that's scary, but
it is.
I mean, in this situation, I would like to say, like, in the same thing, they're going to lose 82 games. They're not going to lose 16. That's what I said the whole time, the whole season for the Lions when they went 0-16. I sat there and said, hey, they're not going to lose every game. Take my money.
The Jets are not going to win. Looking at their schedule, they're not going to win more than 2 or 3 games. Like, even some of their more winnable games against Cincinnati, Jacksonville, and New Orleans are on the road. I think they will beat Miami the next time that they play them. They're not going to go 0-16. And just the way that the Jets play, like, they try and run the ball 50 times a game. Their defense isn't playing well and hasn't been good, and Aaron Glenn has not been good with that defense, but they still have some pieces on that side of the ball. So, like, all that kind of tells me that they're probably not going 0-17. But if they don't win this Carolina game, then, you know, I'm putting the cap on their win total at 2. But I think this is one they can get. I think they find 3 or 4 wins.
This one would just got off my card, and everybody I feel like that I've talked to is on the Jets because of this specific reason. So I am sitting back here. Yeah, the Jets minus 10 yards in the passing game last week. How can you trust them to lay your money on them here? But I just couldn't get over that hump. Yeah, Carolina is not good on the road. We know this. They're way better at home. But how good is this Jets offense? Could we see minus 10 yards, Justin Fields? That's oh my God, you should be fired. You shouldn't even see a football field the rest of your career.
That was bad.
True, but they did score 32 against the Steelers, 27 against the Bucks, 21 against Miami, and they had that goal line fumble too, and 22 against Dallas. So they've hit 20 plus 4 times, and only being held to 11 points by that Dallas, by that Denver defense. You know, no, it didn't look good. It didn't look good. I watched every snap of that game. Like, they're really, really bad. I'm not defending the Jets here.
It's ugly.
I'm just saying there is no way that Carolina should be favored on the road against anyone. Like the Jets are awful. I don't know that Carolina is better than them, really. Like, they went to New England and lost 42-13. Like, you know, I'm not buying Carolina.
It was an ugly game. That's why I just didn't touch it. Ugh.
Carolina Panthers, the Tennessee Titans, the New York Jets, and the New Orleans Saints. They're like that Spider-Man meme that they're all just pointing at each other. I mean, I don't care what their record is. They're all the same team. They're all not good.
Take them all this week. Take all 4 of those
every
teams
one of them.
I'm telling you, I know it's disgusting to even say or think about, but I think that a lot of ugly dogs are going to come through. And I mean, look at last night. Look what happened last night with Cincinnati. Like, Cincinnati had been a joke. Pittsburgh was rolling, even though, again, Lenny, you and I talked about it last night. We're like, Pittsburgh is not as good as their record. They are not as good as they played. And that showed up last night. I think we're going to have some goofy results this week. That's my gut feeling going into this NFL weekend. When things start to feel like when you got it figured out, and when things start to seem like they're coming real easy, that's when the gambling gods kick you right in the nuts. There's some. I'm just really looking over, like, you know, Browns, Dolphins. Who the hell is watching Miami, Cleveland? I'm just saying. Gross. Cleveland, the weather's going to be bad in that one too. Weather's going to be really bad in that one too. Nick, were there any college games that, like, you shaved off your card or that you're just interested in tomorrow that maybe you don't have a big play in? But
not tomorrow, but I'm interested in tonight's game, the Louisville and Miami game. I'm kind of really this is the question for Miami. Are they legitimately that good? Are they the number 2 team, and is Carson Beck that great? I want to see Louisville play them, and this is a good kind of test for them. Louisville's good offensively here, and you're giving me a lot of points in this ACC matchup. I like Louisville in a tease tonight. I would tease them up, get them up over 17, but I lean towards Louisville here. I am not sold on Miami. I understand they are a very good team, and they have a very good offensive line for Carson Beck, probably one of the best in college football here. But I want to see Louisville give them a test here on Friday night, so I lean towards Louisville here and this over 49.5.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Who can you trust, right? Like Mario Cristobal, we know we can't trust him. Jeff Brom has been great as a big underdog in his career. My concern about Louisville, because this was like I had a season win total bet against Miami, like Miami under wins, and this was one of the games I had circled. Like this is a vintage Miami loss, right? Like Lenny and I talked about yesterday. They had a bye week, play Florida State, another bye week. They've only played one game over like a 26-day period by the time they hit the field on this. So are they going to be sharp? My problem is that the longer the season goes on, the less I like the Cardinals. Like they lose at home to Virginia. Okay, who's Virginia? You know, they won that game at Pittsburgh, but they were down 17-0 like that in that game. And then Pittsburgh pretty much like handed them that game from there on out. So like Louisville's only 1-4 against this. They haven't shown me anything yet this season to make me think that they are capable of pulling a big upset like this. Like I'm with you. I wanted to like the points. It's a lot of points in a situational disadvantage here for Miami. But I'm starting to think that this Cardinals team just might not be very good.
I kind of like the Nebraska-Minnesota game better.
Thoughts?
I like Minnesota plus points. I'm gonna take the Golden Gophers on Friday night, and they ain't got nothing else to do in Minnesota at that point on a Friday. This is the biggest thing to come to town since the Pope visited in 1987 for Minnesota. Nebraska comes to town with all their corn husk and BS. I don't think they're as good as their record. You beat up on Maryland, which I don't think Maryland's a great team. You beat up on Michigan State. We know they're not a great team. You lost to Michigan. I think Michigan's a good team, but not that great team. And then you beat Holy Cross, Akron.
That Cincinnati win is aging well. I will give them that.
I'll give them that.
Yeah.
A touchdown's too much though.
But they didn't cover the spread in that one. And frankly, they probably shouldn't have beaten Maryland. They were losing midway through the fourth quarter, losing by a touchdown midway through the fourth quarter in that game last week. That's back-to-back games, which that to me is like low-key one of the more fascinating games on the board Saturday, that Maryland-UCLA. So we have Maryland, who is just like giving away back-to-back games. Like they had Washington on the rope, should have won that game. They had Nebraska on the rope, should have won that game. So like back-to-back, just like gut-wrenching home losses. Covered the spread in both, but didn't win. Going out to play UCLA. UCLA is apparently now like the greatest team in the country. Like apparently Deshaun Foster was the worst head coach in the country, and the new Heisel kid is like an offensive mastermind because they've had back-to-back blowouts. UCLA, which like a couple weeks ago they were getting 3 touchdowns at home against Penn State. Now they're a 3.5-point favorite. Like who's going to win that? You know, who's going to win that game? Like somebody's going to look really, really smart. Like if Maryland wins by double digits, it's like, oh yeah, UCLA, you know, this is why they suck, right? If UCLA wins again, it's like, oh yeah, obviously Maryland was going to have a letdown. But where we sit Friday afternoon at 1:30 Eastern time, it's like, I have no idea how that game is going to go.
Minnesota sucks. It's going to be a sweat. Don't get me wrong. But I think I could get a backdoor cover in Minnesota. You know, I'm just saying, I know.
4-0 at home, roll the boat.
I'm just
roll
saying.
The boat, PJ Fleck.
I'm just saying. We'll see. I don't know about this game. I don't really love
early. I
don't really love a lot of college football tonight.
Any of the early college football games tomorrow? You guys like?
What about that? I want to talk about that LSU and Vanderbilt game.
Yeah. Okay. Go on.
I mean, I'm all over LSU, and tell me otherwise, Robert. Why should I be on Vanderbilt in this game?
Because of my adopted child, Diego Pavia.
No,
Diego Pavia is the president of the world. If not the universe.
Here we go.
But listen, that's another game that I feel like kind of fits right like that Maryland UCLA. Like Like I wanted to play Maryland, or excuse me, I wanted to play Vanderbilt in that game because I think that there are some systemic issues with LSU. LSU, if you throw out their game against Southeast Louisiana this year, which is a joke game, like they rolled over them. Nussmeier has 6 touchdowns to 5 interceptions, and they're only averaging like 19.3 points a game. Like there is something wrong with this LSU offense. Okay. I think this Vanderbilt team is really, really good. And as much as I joke about Diego Pavia, like the guy, no joke, the guy is probably one of the 6 best quarterbacks in college football right now. Like 100%. I would take him over Carson Beck. I would take him over a bunch of guys. Like that guy is awesome. My problem is, and why I kind of lean with you on LSU a little bit and why this game didn't make my card, I don't like the role reversal team, right? You have a team like Vanderbilt that is used to being like double-digit underdog, disrespected, easy win forever. Now it's like total role reversal, and they're a favorite against a really good, really talented team like LSU. If LSU can go into Clemson and win, they can go into Vanderbilt and win, right? So I just can't bring myself to lay points with Vanderbilt where they haven't been favored in this series since like the 70s or something like that. So, you know, again, somebody's going to look really smart after that. You're going to look really smart and be like, hey, man, I had LSU, like Vanderbilt's still friggin' Vanderbilt type of thing. Or if Vanderbilt wins, it's like, dude, Diego Pavia, all he does is cash tickets. So great game. Going to be a great game.
My favorite game of the day tomorrow will be Central Michigan and Bowling Green.
Got CMU, I
Is it
hope.
even on TV, Lenny?
You got Central Michigan.
First of all, it's on CBS Sports Network on the app.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Nice.
All right.
Who do you like?
No. Oh, it's Bowling Green. It's Bowling Green all day. See, Central Michigan is their 3-3 record is fraudulent at 500. Let me tell you right now. It's not good. I think the Miami team or the Ohio teams roll over Michigan this week. I think Miami Ohio plays Western Michigan or Eastern Michigan, one of the two, but they're bad too.
Can I play devil's advocate for like half a second here? You want to talk about one of the most fraudulent wins of the college football season? Bowling Green beating Toledo last week as a like 20-point underdog. Like what were they getting in that? They got outgained by like 250 yards. Dude, they had 64 yards rushing in that game. They went like 1 for 11 on 3rd down. They only had 250 yards total. Like how the hell did they win that game?
Central Michigan lost to Akron. That's how bad they are.
Which is bad, but I just think Bowling Green
for
is
real.
Like let down city all day. But I don't do the math. I'm not in on action, man.
I'm all about.
You're just getting ready for Tuesday action, Lenny. That's all you're in. Action, I should say. Action.
I take the under 2 because it's going to be bad weather in Ohio, Midwest, and usually the MAC I'm going over on pretty, like pretty.
Hey, what about USC Notre Dame, Nick? You got any feeling on that?
This one's a tricky one. Obviously, people are high on USC after that big win over Michigan at home. 31 to 14 or something, 13.
Yep.
And now you go to Notre Dame, and Notre Dame is finally starting to stack wins here. It's a hard environment, obviously, to play. They just beat North Carolina State last week. They blew them out of the water. So this is going to be a good game, but it's -9.5. I'm seeing. I would honestly just first impression looking at this game, I would buy that half a point. Give me +10 here with USC. I think their offense is explosive. They can move the ball with Notre Dame, but it's going to come down to their defensive play. I can see Notre Dame absolutely steamrolling them here and covering this with ease. But I lean towards USC here just with the offensive firepower that I'm seeing, and I would buy that hook to +10 if I was going to play this game. But I could totally see Notre Dame just blowing them out here at home.
What say you, Lenny? That's a kind of a marquee game tomorrow.
I don't like that game. I don't have nothing on that game. I didn't bet that game. I don't.
Lincoln Riley.
I don't like the points. It's too many for Notre Dame. I kind of lean USC to take points in that game, but I
like they're begging you to take USC,
right? And then I thought that was too obvious. Like I don't want to bet something. Like you saying, they begging me to bet it. I don't want to bet it. That makes me not want to bet it. You know,
I took it, and the sole reason I took it, and sometimes I can be just like a stubborn ass about things. I feel like sometimes it's good in betting, sometimes it's bad in betting. But I just remember losing. I had a big play on USC +7 at home last year against Notre Dame. And it was a 7-point game. USC is driving into Notre Dame territory. They throw an 80-yard pick six to go down 14. Get the ball back, immediately drive down again. They throw a 90-yard pick six to go down by 21. They end up losing. So they went from being about to tie the game with like 6.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter to down 3 touchdowns. I feel like this USC team is a little bit better this year. I don't think that Notre Dame is as good this year. I think the weather is going to be bad, and I think the weather will be a factor in this game. It'll just slow everything down, and it's just a buttload of points. I would be more surprised if Notre Dame just lays the wood and wins by 17 or 20 points than I would if USC won outright, right? I'm not saying USC is going to be outright. I'm just saying that, like, I think it'll be surprising if they get their doors blown off by Notre Dame, because really, like, Notre Dame's lost to the only 2 good teams that they faced this year. They lost to A&M at home, and they lost to Miami. And they just really haven't beaten anybody that I'm like, oh yeah, that's a really good win. This is, Boise State, Purdue, like they gave up 30 points to Purdue. Like what?
Yeah, it's a big game.
So like, I feel like Notre Dame is still dining off of last year a little bit. That's my honest assessment.
Like Notre Dame has been dining off the 90s for a little bit. I mean, to be fair, last game I want to ask you guys about, and then we'll bounce on out of here. BYU and Utah. It's like the Mormon battle, the Mormon Bowl. Like this is nothing else to do on a Saturday night. I'm all about BYU, and it scares the shit out of me because I've been on Utah all year. Any thoughts on that?
I do.
This is a tricky one. I'm watching it. We're going to see a lot of soaking going on here in Utah, but I'm definitely taking the points here with BYU. I mean, they're undefeated. They're getting points, and you're the home team here. I know Utah's offense has been stellar. I would take the points. I lean the points, but I want nothing to do with this game here with the Mormons.
I love me some Mormons. They hate me. That's Mormons out there legitimately have hate for me. That's another story for another time. For some of the stuff that I used to write on Doc Sports back in the day that they didn't take kindly to. Wade had to like call me and be like, dude, this is like a real thing. Like you need to lay out the Mormons because they kind of carry a lot of weight out here. I'm the opposite of both of you. I think that just like we talked about with that USC Notre Dame game, I think everything about this spread is baiting you to take BYU. They're the higher ranked team. They're at home. It's a rivalry game. They're undefeated, all of that stuff. So why the hell are they 3.5 point underdogs in this game, right? Like BYU hasn't beaten anybody. They should not have beaten Arizona last week. I don't know if you watched that game, but their freshman quarterback fumbled late in that game. He fumbled it forward, and so they got like a fourth down, first down. They end up winning in overtime. Like, garbage. They shouldn't have won at Colorado. Colorado was better than them. They only win by 3 points. Utah has had BYU's number. They've won 9 out of the last 11 in the series, 12 out of the last 17. I think they've won 6 out of the last 7 in Provo, so they've played very well there. So I'm not in a hurry to bet against BYU because of how good they've been the last 2 years. But everything about this number is saying, here, take the points, take BYU, take the home dog.
It does seem like free candy.
They're just handing you candy, man.
It does seem like free candy, right?
All right, I'm betting Utah, lay the points. Let's roll.
Yeah.
Robert sold me.
Free candy from the Mormons.
But I think it's either got to be that or BYU money line. Because if BYU came out and they won this game by 17 points, I wouldn't say I was stumped. I wouldn't, right? But like, if you think you only make that play if you think the odds makers are really bad at their jobs, basically. Either bet BYU on the money line and think that they come out and lay the wood, or that Utah wins and that Utah is just a better team. And that's
BYU and the over in a same game teaser.
Okay.
So 6 points. It gets me to almost 10, 9.5. I wanted 10. I know I
had this argument with Nolan. Yeah. Like if you're gonna tease that, I'm a big believer. If you're gonna do it, take the full 7. I don't like 6-point teasers. Like, give me the full touchdown, because that, like, even just in your thing, that difference between 9.5 and 10.5, it's kind of a big
deal. But I don't feel like I'm gonna need it. I feel like the touchdown's good, so that's all I really wanted to get over. But
yeah.
In retrospect, you're right, 100%. You're right.
If you're gonna do it.
Pay the extra 10 cents juice or whatever it is. 20 cents, whatever your book is. Shop your lines, because teaser lines are different now everywhere. MGM teaser, 6-point teaser, 2 teams, -120. DraftKings, -135.
Yep.
Shop your lines. So, I mean, you do you, Pikachu. We're going to bounce out of here, though. Appreciate everybody stopping by, hitting the like button. You guys as well. Tell us what you got going on at the website, Robert, this weekend going on.
7-unit college football play tomorrow, 7 out of 10 winning football weekends. I will have my NBA futures play posted at some point over the weekend. And, of course, that NHL top play tonight.
Awesome. Nick Menken, what do you got going on?
Yeah, we got 2 3-packs. 3-pack on Saturday. We got a 6-unit there that goes off at 12 p.m. Eastern. And then Sunday, 8 and 2 of my last 10 selections here. We got a 3-pack highlighted by a 7-unit best bet going off at 4:25 p.m. Eastern. So let's keep it going here, Lenny.
I have over 40 plays posted for college and pro football.
It just keeps
combined.
getting bigger every week.
If you are ready, if you want action, if you just want to like grab that bottle of bourbon and sit on the couch for like 48 straight hours and just gamble and drink your face off.
Just
got
one
over 40 plays, and I feel good about every one of them.
God, Robert, we are like the same, and it's in so many ways. Like, I have I got a laundry list of plays that I like, and I'm like, well, how do I narrow this down to just 10? I can't do that. And it's so yeah, just run it. All right, folks, that's it for us. Take care. We appreciate everybody stopping by. Saturday, tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern time, we'll be live. Good luck, unless you're against us. Take care, folks.